You wake up tomorrow morning, February 14th, 2026, Valentine's Day. You check your phone. Every news channel is screaming the same headline: government shutdown. DHS closes at midnight. Your heart drops. Your green card interview is scheduled for next week. You've been waiting 18 months. You sold everything back home. Your kids are already enrolled in American schools. And now this. You open your USCIS account. Is your case frozen? Will they cancel your appointment? Your hands are shaking as you Google, "Will immigration stop during shutdown?" The first 3 articles say different things. One says maybe, one says partially, one says call your lawyer. You don't have $1,500 for a lawyer. Here's what happens next for most immigrants. They panic. They assume the worst. They miss critical deadlines because they think the system is closed. They make mistakes that cost them their cases. But you're going to know exactly what happens if the government shuts down at midnight. And more importantly, you're going to know the one mistake that could destroy your case even while USCIS stays open. Because here's the truth nobody's telling you. This shutdown doesn't work the way you think it does. Let me be very clear about what's happening right now. Today is February 12th, 2026. The United States Congress is 48 hours away from a partial government shutdown. But this isn't a normal shutdown. Most of the federal government is already funded. They passed a big spending bill back in September that funds most agencies until September 30th, 2026. But there's one giant agency they left out: the Department of Homeland Security, DHS. Why? Political warfare. There's a massive fight happening in Congress right now about ICE accountability. After incidents in Minnesota involving ICE enforcement, one party is demanding body cameras and new oversight rules for immigration agents. The other party is saying absolutely not. They've been fighting about this for weeks, and they attached this fight to the DHS funding bill. Result: tomorrow at midnight, February 13th turns into February 14th, and DHS funding expires. Now here's where most people make their first mistake. They hear DHS shutdown and immediately think, immigration stops, USCIS closes, my case is dead. Wrong. And this wrong assumption is about to become a trap. Let me tell you about Maria. Maria had her green card interview scheduled for February 18th, 2026, 5 days after the shutdown deadline. She's been waiting 2 years for this interview. Her marriage-based green card, everything is perfect. Clean case, real marriage, all documents ready. Then she hears about the shutdown on the news. She panics. She goes on Facebook groups. People are saying government shutdown means all immigration stops. Someone posts, "My friend's case was delayed 6 months during the last shutdown." Maria makes a decision. She's going to reschedule her interview for after the shutdown ends. Better safe than sorry, right? She calls USCIS. She explains she wants to reschedule because of the shutdown. The officer on the phone says, "Ma'am, we're still operating, but if you want to reschedule, you'll need to submit a request." Maria submits the request. 3 weeks later, she gets a letter. Failure to appear at scheduled interview. Case denied. Wait, what? Here's what happened. USCIS never closed. Her interview was still scheduled. And by requesting to reschedule without a valid emergency and not appearing as scheduled, her case was treated like she abandoned the interview appointment. Now she has to start over, refile, pay fees again, wait again, all because she didn't understand one critical fact. USCIS is not funded the way most people think it is. Let me say this again, because this is the legal shield that protects you. USCIS operates primarily on FE funding. The money you paid for your application is what pays USCIS operations, not regular annual taxpayer funding in the same way as many other agencies. So when DHS funding expires, some DHS components might slow down. Some enforcement operations might change. Certain services might get delayed. But USCIS, the agency processing your green card, your work permit, your citizenship, generally keeps running. Interviews still happen. Biometrics still happen. Officers still work. Processing continues. Now let me explain the reason behind it in plain English. USCIS collects filing fees. Those fees go into a dedicated account used to run immigration benefits processing. That's why, during prior shutdowns, USCIS has consistently stated that it remains operational during a lapse in appropriations. This is also why shutdowns confuse people. Not all immigration is the same thing. Immigration is not one building. It's multiple agencies with different funding structures and different rules. USCIS is one agency. CBP, Customs and Border Protection, is another. ICE is another. Immigration courts are another, and they are not even in DHS. Immigration courts are part of the Department of Justice. So when you hear shutdown, you must ask, which agency are we talking about? Now here's the fine print you need to know. Even when USCIS continues, a few related services can be disrupted. E-Verify is a common example. E-Verify is the system employers use to check work eligibility. If E-Verify goes down during a shutdown, it can create delays for employers trying to complete verification steps. But that does not mean your pending green card stops. It does not mean your work permit application is canceled. It does not mean USCIS interviews are canceled. Also, customer support can get slower. The USCIS contact center might have longer wait times if certain staff are furloughed. That's why you should rely on online tools first. Now here's what USCIS has said during previous shutdowns, and what they typically repeat. USCIS will remain operational during a lapse in appropriations. They said it in past shutdowns, including the 2018-2019 shutdown. The consistent message has been, processing continues. But here is where the trap deepens. Even though USCIS stays open, people make the wrong decisions because they think everything is closed. And that is how cases get destroyed. Now, while we're talking about immigration news during this shutdown period, let me share one update that shows you something important. Even when Congress is fighting, immigration policy decisions still move. On February 6, 2026, DHS announced they're adding 64,716 additional H-2B visas for this fiscal year. If you work in seasonal industries, landscaping, hospitality, seafood processing, ski resorts, and your employer is trying to bring you in on an H-2B visa, that kind of update matters. The reason I'm mentioning it here is simple. It proves the immigration machinery doesn't stop just because politicians are fighting. Programs keep moving, decisions keep happening, processing keeps going. Now let's get to your action plan. Exactly what to do, what not to do, and how to protect your case during a shutdown period. Step 1. Do not cancel or reschedule your USCIS appointments. If you have any USCIS appointments scheduled for February 14th or later, biometrics, green card interview, citizenship interview, asylum interview, go do it. Do not call to reschedule. Do not assume it's canceled. Do not listen to rumors on Facebook or WhatsApp. Your appointment is happening unless USCIS directly contacts you and reschedules you. If someone tells you to reschedule, here's the correct response. I checked official USCIS sources. USCIS remains operational during funding gaps. Unless I receive written notice from USCIS, my appointment stands. Step 2. Check your case status online, not by phone. During shutdown headlines, phone lines get overwhelmed and wait times can explode. Instead, log into your USCIS online account. Check your case status using your receipt number on USCIS Case Status Online. Turn on text and email updates. These tools are the fastest and most reliable way to see if anything changed. Step 3. Know what might actually be delayed. There are usually two areas that may be affected for some people. E-Verify disruptions. If you're starting a new job and your employer needs to verify your work authorization, there may be system delays. Employers are required to follow the rules for resolving E-Verify issues when systems are unavailable. A shutdown delay is not supposed to be used as a reason to punish you. Non-urgent or specialized services. Some smaller functions can slow down, but these do not typically affect standard green card, work permit, and citizenship processing. Step 4. Protect yourself from scams. This is critical. During every shutdown threat, scammers come out like sharks smelling blood. You will see posts saying, "Pay us $500 and we'll expedite your case before the shutdown. USCIS is canceling cases. Refile now. We have an inside connection." All lies. Here are your 3 verification rules. Official information comes from gov sources, not social media. USCIS will never ask you to pay money by phone call, random email link, or text message. If someone claims inside information, assume it's a scam until USCIS announces it publicly. Step 5. Document everything during this shutdown period. Screenshot your online case status. Save any USCIS emails or texts. Keep copies of every notice. If you attend an appointment, keep proof that you attended. If there are weird delays later, you'll have your own record. Step 6. Understand the timeline. This shutdown might last 2 days. It might last 2 weeks. But here's what matters. Even during the longest shutdown in modern history, 35 days in 2018-2019, USCIS continued operating under its fee-funded structure. So if your interview is next week, you should still plan to attend unless USCIS tells you otherwise. Step 7. Special situations. If you are traveling internationally, CBP officers are considered essential personnel. Airports and borders continue operating, but some optional services may slow down, like global entry enrollment. If you need emergency advance parole or urgent travel help, USCIS typically continues handling emergencies, but you may need to visit a field office and bring strong proof of emergency. If you're waiting for a work permit and your current one expires, remember, many categories have an automatic extension if you filed the renewal on time and you qualify. Keep your receipt notice and show it to your employer if needed. Now let me zoom out and tell you why this matters beyond just this weekend. Immigration is not like other government services. When the government shuts down, national parks close. Non-essential federal work pauses. Some agencies stop answering phones. But immigration functions are treated differently because immigration touches national security, border operations, and legally mandated processing. Plus, USCIS is largely fee-funded. So the real lesson is this. You cannot let political chaos in Washington control your immigration case. Politicians will fight. Headlines will scream. Social media will panic. Your job is to keep your case moving. Show up to your appointments. Submit documents on time. Respond to notices. Check official sources only. Because the people who lose cases during shutdowns are often the people who panic and make avoidable mistakes. The person who cancels their interview and gets denied for failure to appear. The person who believes a scammer and pays money. The person who stops checking their case and misses an important notice. The person who misses court because they assume the government is closed. And I need to give you one serious warning before we finish. Even if USCIS stays open, ICE enforcement does not automatically stop. ICE agents are often considered essential. They may still arrest, detain, and carry out enforcement actions. A shutdown does not protect someone with a final removal order. It does not erase deadlines. It does not stop court orders. So if you have any immigration case pending, USCIS, asylum, court, do not miss hearings and do not miss deadlines. Deadlines still count. Courts can still operate. Judges can still issue orders. Now let's bring it home. Tomorrow at midnight, DHS funding may expire because politicians can't agree. That's their problem. Your problem is protecting your immigration case. And now you know the truth. USCIS does not automatically shut down during a DHS funding lapse. Your case will keep moving. Your interview will likely still happen as scheduled unless USCIS tells you otherwise. So save this video. Share it with your family. Send it to anyone you know who has a USCIS case pending. Because when headlines scream shutdown and people panic, you're going to be the calm voice who says, USCIS stays open. We're going to attend our appointment. We're going to follow official instructions only. That's the power of knowledge. My name is Asad Chatini, and this is Immigration Newsroom. If this helped you, subscribe, because I make videos like this to protect immigrants from mistakes that could cost them everything, and drop a comment. What are you waiting for right now? An interview, a green card, citizenship, a work permit, asylum? Tell me so I can make the next video that helps your exact situation. General information only, not legal advice. Always verify updates on official USCIS and court websites and consult a qualified attorney for case-specific advice. Stay safe, stay informed, and I'll see you in the next video.